Welcome, everyone, to Christiana's Psychic Cafe. I'm so glad that you're here. We've had an interesting switch up on the show tonight. You may be expecting to see Jordan. He's not here with us today. He's had a loss in his family, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I'm going to show you the definition of a true friend. This morning, when I was speaking with Jordan and here releasing him from his obligation to be on the show, within 60 seconds of that moment, I had a new fabulous guest. Don't worry, Jordan will be back in a couple of weeks, but for tonight, I want you to join me in welcoming Mary Ellen Collins to the Psychic Cafe. Hi, Mary Ellen, how are you?
I'm great, Christiana. It's an honor to be here. I don't know if I can fill Jordan's shoes, but, I won't try. He's Jordan and I'm Mary Ellen, so we'll see what the show does tonight.
Well, and I think it's fun because you actually know Jordan. Have you met him at Reader's Studio?
Yep, met him at Reader's Studio. Looking forward to seeing him again there this year if he goes.
Are you going this year?
I am, and I'm encouraging anybody here that's a tarot lover or maybe if you're just getting started with the cards. It's produced by the Tarot School, and essentially if you can do a basic 3-card reading, you have what it takes to do a foundation reading and study all weekend long with some of the top tarot names out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great event. I'm jealous that you're going this year. Maybe next year.
Next year. That's what we said last year.
We did say that last year. It's hard for me to get a weekend off.
I know.
You know
you can do readings from the Reader's Studio. See you on your phone out in the hallway.
Now, it's happened. I have done readings in some really interesting places.
I'll bet you have.
Absolutely. So, Mary Ellen, this is not your first time on the Psychic Cafe. You were on for one of our panel discussions, I think was it about divination?
It was a general topic about divination, and I was highlighting my crystals and the lovely toy oracle. I call mine the toy oracle, but they're really kind of getting around. I know others call them magpie oracles or charm oracles, and so it's the whole idea of just being able to use different things that put pictures in your head and use that to access the higher self for messages.
Perfect. So I'm going to want to speak with you about that, about the Crystal Oracle, about your history with tarot, and about Lenormand. In fact, I have to tell you, until I spoke with you, I didn't know what a Lenormand deck was. And it was sort of right before it was all over Facebook. You were telling me about it, so you kept me from looking like an idiot a few years ago.
Yeah, but I haven't made any progress since then. It's a simple system, and yet it's so completely different from what we do as tarot readers in a lot of ways. So I just have to apply myself. It's like learning a new language.
Sure. So I want to put it out there for folks. We are available today to do readings live on air, free readings with Mary Ellen and with me. All you have to do is pick up the phone, 615-692-1262, or you can shout your question into the chat room. And I did want to take a moment to send out some love and light to Jordan. He lost his cat of 21 years. And, I had in my head what the cat's full name was. Do you remember? I know we got notices, but the cat is called Merc.
Merc,
yes, has a long name, but is called Merc. And I spoke with Jordan today, and today he was doing some ceremony around honoring Merc and going through all of that. So we send him a lot of love and light, and we honor Merc, too, here on Christiana's Psychic Cafe. Are you a cat person, Mary Ellen?
I love cats and dogs, but we had a couple of cats for many years, and after 19 years lost the one guy we'd had for a long time. And the next time I tried to get a cat about a year ago, I found out I was allergic.
Oh my goodness.
It was like I had the time without the cat, and when I had cats back in my life, I broke into violent hives, and I was crying because I like cats.
Ladies, and we have a caller.
Okay. Hi, how are you today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. So, we are happy to read for you. Mary Ellen, how does this sound? I'll let you start and chat with the caller, and then I'll come in at the end with some other comments. Is that all right?
Okay, perfect. Yep, I got my cards all. I've been shuffling, and hello, caller. Your name?
Neil.
Hi, Neil. What do you have a specific question this evening on your mind, or?
Yeah, I'm actually a business owner in Connecticut, and I know Christiana very well, and she does my readings all the time for me. So I'm struggling with the business, and then just personally wanting to know if I should be continuing in this way or in the business, or should I be looking at making a career change?
Okay, continue in the business as you're doing now, or looking for new opportunities, did you say?
Not so much in, no, not in the same business. I actually have done some acting in the past, and have taken it up as a hobby, and didn't know if I should venture out into doing something more in that area, or maintain the social service.
All right, I'm going to throw a couple little lines here. I'm going to look at one that says, what's going on with your business now? There's just like, there's no activity going on. It's sort of, you're sort of tied gently to the machinery of it, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And it does, it bothers you a little bit. You have some negative energy around the thought process. It seems like you're trying to do your best to stay on the positive side there, though, so kudos to you for that. It's just that it's in your vibration, so I'm mentioning that. The interesting thing, though, is that, and like, okay, what's the timing on that? Timing I don't see in my cards. I just go, what's the timing? And something pops into my head, so hopefully that works for you. But I'm seeing 5 or 6 months. I'm getting a Queen of Pentacles. She's holding a nice big green and gold pentacle. I don't know if you can see her, see that card. And it just seems like there's something that's going to pay off in, within this year. 2014, numerology, the energy of it is a 7. It's a challenge year and a change year. So whatever, it seems to me like what's happening, and to me, everybody that gets a tarot reading, they have like a little story that plays out, like a little drama. You're an actor, so that's perfect for you. But your story is playing out that it's like, if you can sort of abide this time for a while and continue with that process that you're doing of just quelling the thoughts of not fear, but just the stuff that does keep us up a little bit at night, it's going to pay off for you. The interesting thing is once that happens, that clears the deck of this particular activity for you, and I've got a 7 of Cups reversed, and that's telling me that once you kind of take care of business here, you're going to have some other things that you can turn that over, and you're going to have different options that you can look at. So does that resonate for you?
Yeah, I've kind of thought that this was kind of just a lull, and there's other things going on business-wise that I've just had kind of like, oh my God, what am I doing? Should I be saying this, or should I move on? So I really have been struggling.
Yeah, I think it's a confirmation to hold on just for a little bit. Now let me go ahead and pull the cards that talk about acting. The first card that comes up, you had never really considered what is the card for acting, and I get the moon, and I think that's a really perfect card for acting.
Sure.
Essentially, it's a feeling of unease. It's like, what's the road? I need to follow the road. Maybe I need to create the road. And what does an actor do but creates a little reality, for the rest of us to enter into. So I think that's looking really, really good. 10 of Cups comes out after that. So there's some love there. See, here's the thing. When we put our love into it, it doesn't matter. There's no, should I or shouldn't I? Just do it. And after that, it's 4 of Cups. So it might even be that you get into it and you may have to turn down some opportunities to do it after a while.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, right?
have that choice.
I know. It's like you go from, I don't see anything out there at all to the, but no, see, here's the thing that works for me and why I like to use tarot to see around the corners, because I like to know something like that. Like, wow, something is going to be there. I'm going to put my juice into this and it's going to pay off for me. And when I know that, then it's easier for me to put my heart into it. And these are cups, so that's heart. That's heart energy.
Good.
Mary Ellen, I'm so happy for you to have a chance to meet Neil. I was just figuring out the other day how long I have known Neil and his family, and it's a really long time. And
it really is.
It's great for the two of you to connect. And I have to say, Neil, I agree with Mary Ellen on both counts. I think the business has value. I know that right now you're feeling stuck, and there's a lot of reasons you're feeling stuck, and you're tied up. The business is also personal. Your business life, your personal life, it gets tied up in a lot of ways for you. And, yes, there need to be shifts. Yes, there need to be changes, but the business has value. On the other hand, so does acting. And I think it's kind of funny. I've been doing this work for, full-time for more than 20 years. I've had to talk to a lot of aspiring actors, musicians, people who want the stage really badly, and basically 9 times out of 10, I direct them to the community theater and tell them to be happy with that. It takes a lot of talent to even consider making money in this field. And the fact is, you've just gotten into it professionally, not at a hugely young age, and yet there are opportunities here for you.
Yep.
I see it in the cards, Mary Ellen sees it in the cards, and you've seen it in real life.
While you were talking about that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm shuffling away because I like to put the energy into it with the conversation. And I get a beautiful, like in the my tarot deck, the Gilded, the 10 of Pentacles. It's like a little treasure chest out there waiting to just be found. So when you're talking about finding money and making some money in it, that's what's in store for you.
Wow.
Okay, good.
Also have the 10 of Pentacles. Obviously mine looks different, but same card, similar energy, really. So I would just sort of parse it out into figure out what immediate changes you need to make, whether they're changes in thinking or changes in dynamics to make the business more tolerable and let the energy flow more. Find a way to keep the business going, but still put yourself more in the realm of acting. I sort of feel like you can do both. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
I was hoping that you would say that, because I feel like there's the service part of me needs to, that's who I am. I help people. I just feel a little kind of like discouraged at this time with all of the negative things that are continuing to rain on the business, and I take it very personally because it does. I feel like it's all a reflection on me, and it's not. I know it's not me. I know it's the people that are working, and they're incompetence and maybe my bad choices in hiring these people and whatnot. So I'm struggling, to maintain a reputation that I've built, and I'm having right now a real hard time. Kind of like, am I doing the right thing? So.
I have probably in the past accused you of being too trusting of certain people at certain times in your life. If that's the worst thing I can say about you, you're doing okay. But, the thing that would strike me is I bet that the things that you're dealing with are not unusual in your industry.
I know.
Right? I mean, I sort of feel like you're in the zoo and you're complaining that there's animals there.
Yeah, right.
There's a certain amount of this is just going to be. And I think you have always prided yourself at doing it better than your competitors, at having a higher standard of excellence. And that hasn't changed, Neil. You still have that high standard of excellence, but when these things happen, it is your spiritual lesson to, yes, take responsibility for fixing it and doing what needs to be done and learning from it, but that's different than feeling the weight of it personally and having it erode your sense of self-esteem or pride in your work or pride in your business. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, absolutely.
Okay, anything else for Neil, Mary Ellen?
Let me just pull a random card here. Yeah, that Nine of Swords coming up, but again, it's still reversed. So, you got that vibration, my friend, and it probably comes up because that card comes up for me all the time.
Yeah.
But, so that's something that we share. But just keep doing what you're doing. If it's meditation or...
Funny you say that because I have just taken up meditation over the last week and a half. Like bizarre that you say that because I've been doing it on a daily basis and I've been feeling the benefits of it. So it's
there you go. So pretty soon the card will just simply disappear once you've had a chance to really put that into lay the groove, so to speak, right, metaphysically speaking.
Very validating. Thank you, guys. This is awesome.
Neil, it is so great to speak with you. Thanks for being here at the Psychic Cafe, and thanks for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Take care.
Okay, and that means we'll have an open line. So if anyone wants to do as Neil did, it's 615-692-1262. So that was fun, Mary Ellen, huh?
Yeah. Got the cards shuffled. I had pulled out some of my little tarot riddles.
Yes.
So let me see if I can stump you, the tarot expert.
And
now,
if anyone in the chat room wants to guess, by all means, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yep, we got folks that are... What you need to know is have some kind of familiarity with the imagery of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I've actually written these, kind of corny little poem riddles that describe cards. So see if you can make this one out.
Oh, you know what? Before you get started, it looks like we've got another caller on the line. Hi,
all right.
This?
Shuffle the cards.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Good. Do you have a question for us today?
Yes. First of all, I'm excited for this opportunity tonight, and I was just listening to Neil. I'm kind of in a similar circumstance. I'm just at a crossroads. Life is going in slow motion. I'm not really sure what the next best step is. I do freelance work and in a couple of different areas. I teach yoga. I do modeling. I have a product sales business. And I'm coming up on like a little chunk of money that I can like invest into one of these areas. And I'm really like not sure. Some of my options are like to further my yoga studies or to invest in my product sales business by getting more products to show. And then I'm also kind of in a similar place in my romantic relationship too, where it's just in this weird place where we're just not sure if we're compatible or if we're not, or if we should move forward or if it's time to go the separate way. So the slow motion confusion place for me.
Crossroads all over the place here.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll focus on the work and the career, the businesses first. And so you're looking at where to put your energy. You know, money is a physical representation of energy. And so you're like, where do I put the juice? And you said a product line you have, and the other option was yoga, a yoga class that you do?
Yoga, like if I were to do, like, study Thai yoga massage to add to the fact that I teach yoga classes.
Okay.
And now I can offer the Thai yoga massage. There's actually another option, and that is to invest that money/energy into my modeling career by pushing hard to go commercial, because right now I'm kind of in that bombshell, big sexy hair kind of place, and I think that there's more future benefit for me to, like, get some just nice commercial headshots so I can start playing those commercial roles like the mother and, you know, the person at the restaurant or something like that, because it seems that there's more money in that and potential, you know?
A, B, or C, and the answer is D, all the above.
Okay.
And for different reasons. Okay?
Yeah.
So on the modeling, I get the Queen of Wands, and she is like a action girl. And she's really beautiful, you know, so it's, you know, like, get the beauty shot, because that's what it's all about in whatever business we're in, you know, it doesn't matter. Whatever we do, we gotta look our best. And in a way, that kind of helps you keep your focus in the others. I'm getting, wow, the Ten of Pentacles. I love seeing this card come up so much, because on the yoga, being able to add to your craftsmanship there, I get the Ten of Pentacles. So that's a go. That's a plus as well. And then the product. The interesting thing about that is I get Judgment, and I view that card as essentially epiphany. It's change. It's saying, so what that does is sometimes all the different things that we're doing, they're just going to keep making the same circles, you know, over and over. And that's a good thing. We like certain things to repeat themselves, like, you know, success in the yoga and the modeling. However, with the Judgment card, what I'm getting is this, that when you put some products out there, it's going to actually connect and bring you into a new circle. There's a new connection for you, a new product or service that you're going to learn about, maybe even be able to start being a vendor of that as well. So, like, I could see you maybe making a connection if you were at a convention of some sort as a vendor, or giving a, you know, like, you know, speaking to people. I don't know if you're doing marketing, internet marketing, or face-to-face.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It is a multi-level marketing company, and I've gone with one that does vegan, performance quality, cosmetics, and nutrition. So this is what I'm using on stage, and it's all non-toxic, so I like it. And so the investment would be to use, you know, that money that I have now to invest into, like, the whole cosmetics line. So then I can, like, do little makeovers for people so that they can compare, you know, the product line that I'm selling with what they're currently using.
Okay. Somehow I don't see that. I see a stop. I'm getting like, nope, not that far. Just, you know, continue to do that, but wait for the energy to change on that, on the product there.
Okay.
Maybe even stop right now and invest later. But
yeah,
I
just like enjoy it
other
for myself.
place for you to put your energy there.
Okay.
And or money.
Right.
I completely agree with that. And honestly, I think that there is merit to everything that you've got going on here. And so it's not a matter of choosing one over the other, but if you only have a specific chunk of change to invest right now, the best way to play it would be to invest where you're going to get a return right away, and then you'll have money to invest in the other things.
Right.
Now, as far as investing in picking up Thai yoga, I love that idea. The payoff on it is definitely over time. You know, anytime an investment in education, it's a great capital investment. And, you know, the question is, would you enjoy doing Thai yoga? And the answer is yeah. You know, the card, when Mary Ellen was talking, I pulled a card, and the card I got was temperance. And for me, temperance is about, it's not this and it's not that. You take a little of this, you take a little of that, you blend it together, and you find the perfect blend. And I think that's the way your life is, and it's an interesting blend, you know, from the yoga studio to the catwalk and everything in between. And I think that works for you. And, you know, here's the angle I see. Right now, you're young, you've got a lot of good years ahead of you, and if you play it right, you can model into old age.
Yeah.
I think, you know, because, I mean, we always think about young fashion models, but more and more we're seeing gorgeous women in their 50s and 60s who are models. And that's good, you know, and so there is a life, you know, it's not like modeling has a shelf life anymore.
Right.
And so this is a long-term career for you. On the other hand, I would really see you tying everything together. The modeling, the natural lifestyle stuff, the yoga, the healing. And I think ultimately you might write a book, do some healing, really do that, you know, be the example of how people can be beautiful and healthy and take care of themselves. So in the end, it all comes together. That's how I see it. The answer to the question, though, which investment is best to make right now, I agree with Mary Ellen. I'm not that psyched about right now investing more into the cosmetics. I think you can build that up over time. I think Thai massage, there's a time for you to learn that, but I don't know that you have to do that right now. If you only have money to do one thing, I am all about headshots.
Yeah.
Okay.
The headshot.
Cool.
Yeah, Queen of Wands.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's more. There's more social things kind of blossoming in that area. You know, I've had some people reach out to me, and you know, some people that are A-listers as photographers reach out to me and say, "Hey, I can help you with this. Let me give you this advice, and I'll do your headshots." But I have to like drive up to Georgia to get it done, so it's a little bit of a detour. You know, like I really have to be like, "All right, this is what I'm doing." You know, so.
Well, you never know. That might be the thing that changes up the energy, and you connect. And you know, with something's on. You're kind of at a nexus. Something's on the horizon for you. You asked about love as well, so you want to hear your cards for that?
Love to.
Okay. It looks like you're not feeling what you once felt, and. You know, I'm getting the Queen of Cups reversed, and it's like, you know, yes, there's still love, but it's just not flowing the way it once did. There's still a lot of passion, and literally I did get the Lover's card here. But on the other side of it, I get the Ace of Cups, and that tells me that really what's in the energy field for you is the possibility of another new, different relationship. So it's something to think about. Not that the one that you're with, you know, you don't have choices here. You know, you may turn around. You can turn the Queen of Cups upside down, things may change in the next 3 months. For me, the energy of my cards, I always feel, I see them as like a little light cast out for about, say, 3 months, you know.
Right.
But the final card that I got was cups. It's all cups here, and it was 8 of cups, and it's kind of walking away. So it just tells me that your emotional energy, that's where you're at right now. Right.
I'm unsure if there's going to be like a time, like if I'm going to need to like make that decision, you know, and say this is what's happening, or if it would just be like a natural moving away, you know, that I could just let happen if that's what's going to happen. I need to be responsible for my decisions. So.
I think you have to, you're going to have to change the energy, and the figure usually in the classic 8 of Cups has turned their back on that emotional situation and walks away towards something new. And here's here's that moon showing up there in the Gilded. The card is actually walking on towards a moon, something a little unknown, a little uncertain, and yet mysterious that calls us. Right. So something is calling you. And here's the thing about things that we're called on in our life. We may think, oh, it's not practical, I'd rather stay in this relationship or whatever. And certainly it's not a bad thing. But just know that there's another energy in you that's being born that kind of wants to, see what the moon has to say.
Right. I think I have a fear of, like, moving away and not being able to come back and, like, having that, like, oh, no, kind of thing a couple months from now or a couple weeks from now,
Yes.
The fear that we might cast aside something that we're going to want later is a thing, that's a fear we all have about all things, although that's what creates hoarders as well.
Right.
And, but the fact is, when we look at the person who is in your life, it's a decent person, we're not looking, from what I can see, we're not looking at an abusive situation, we're not looking at, this person is a decent person. Whether or not this is the person for you for the rest of your life is a question, but this person is decent, and when we look at how this person might be viewing things, I think it's become apparent to both of you that things are not, I forget how Mary Ellen put it, but she put it so well, how you may not be feeling the way you once were. And I think that's kind of on the table, that you both know that.
Yeah.
However, the difference I get is I think the person you're with is kind of all in terms of wanting to try to make it work. And you're a little more pulled back saying, well, let's just see what happens. You don't feel like having the energy to put into making it work, but on the other hand, you'll lay back and just sort of, see where it goes. So there's not a clear energy match there. I think he's clear on what he wants. You're not clear on what you want. But, okay, this is just like crone wisdom. If you're not clear on what you want when it comes to love, I think there's every likelihood that you know what you don't want. If you have to ask that question, this may not be what you're looking for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah. And that's okay. And I don't see any reason why you have to say, okay, I'm getting out of it right this minute. It doesn't seem dangerous. But
yeah, I'm there for you. He's definitely, got, a good guy and will take good care of you, all that sort of thing. That's not an issue. He's like, it'll puzzle him if the relationship ends because he knows can take good care of you and that there's love. So that'll be hard. I think that would be the challenge for you if you decide to move on, is how to communicate that.
Right. Would you at all recommend, maybe telling him I think that we should spend some time apart and see how we're feeling or something?
You asked me that question. I got the hermit. What do you think? Tell him you need a little me time.
Yeah.
book a week at the spa, or, you know, I mean, whatever your finances will permit, but go out with girlfriends more. Just, you know, you can do that naturally without seeming to, you know, withdraw too much, you know, just
Sure.
because you do need to have some time for introspection when you're going. This is a big decision. You know, you don't want to just randomly wander off, stumbling around.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Truly, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I would comment that in this past year or two, you have seen glimpses of what might be available to you in the world of modeling and entertainment that I think might be beyond what you had thought or imagined.
Sure.
And the key is, I mean, you have some limitations. You have kids, you have, you know, you have specific limitations that will keep you grounded and are good. But in your life right now, you don't want to limit yourself beyond that. Beyond what is appropriate for your health and what is appropriate for your family, there should be no limitations. And if you feel like the relationship limits you, I think, you know, that's something you want to think about, because you have discovered, you know, I mean, it's more than just having exquisite good looks. It is, you have some interesting talent here that's not run of the mill. And I think you've discovered that almost very naively. You've discovered. So it's important not to limit where that could take you.
I see.
Okay, any other questions?
Can we check on the kids real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Give us a name and an age, one at a time.
Yeah, we have Logan is 7.
Logan is 7. Okay, Mary Ellen, what do you see for Logan at 7?
Wow, what a fireball. Always coming with new creative ideas, and, you know, just, you know, your job as the mom is just to kind of do what moms do anyway, support all that creative energy, maybe help channel, you know, sometimes it might be like new idea after new idea without following through, you know. At 7, we all do that to some extent, but, you know, kind of help, you know, Logan learn how to do that a little bit more. And the other one?
Haven, he's 4. I'd like to, if we could inquire, I have some, like, custody uncertainties.
Regarding Haven or both of them?
Regarding Haven, his father currently has 43% custody, and I've consistently felt like it's a little too much. His father is disabled, and really his mother, so my son's grandmother, is the actual one, you know, doing the most of the parenting over there. So I felt, you know, and sometimes my son struggles to want to go over there and to leave me. But, you know, if I open this up and try to go back to court, like, obviously that's a big deal, you know, like opening up a new possible can of worms. And so I've just been kind of on the fence if I want to take that step, you know. But again, consistently feeling like, all right, go ahead.
Obviously, I'm not an attorney, but
you're right.
I do kind of have the feeling that although you don't like to see Haven in that place of struggling, unless you feel that there is something in that household that is a bad influence or something of that nature, it probably is best not to kick the beehive.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, you know, even remember, we come in as babies, we've got our little life lessons and our life plans. And I think for the 4-year-old, there's some interesting things, interesting lessons that need to be learned. And so the diverse type of environments between when they're with you and with the father and the grandmother, great stuff. You know, there's a lot of good stuff. So it, you know, to calm any fears, I know you're probably having motherly fears like, oh, is this the best thing? Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I do. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Paul. Great to speak with you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we have an open line. If you would like to call in for a reading, 615-692-1262. And Mary, let's see if we can get to our tarot game. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So see if you can get this one, Christiana. I know you can.
Okay.
The sun above, world at my feet, nothing begun, nothing complete. I carry my tools wherever I go. Their ultimate use I strive to know.
The Fool.
Woohoo! Yes, sir. There you go. The giant rider waite.
Give me another one.
All right. Still in the majors like you need a hint. Holding emblems of my power, I make good use of every hour. My leadership is strong and true for worldly gain that I pursue.
The Emperor?
You got it.
Yes, okay.
Holding emblems of my power.
Right, of course. Perfect. In fact, let me ask you a question that came up in a class I was teaching the other day about bring that Emperor back.
Okay.
Okay, so he's got like the ball in one hand, which is like the orb of power, like the Jesus ball or whatever.
Right.
In the other hand, is that an Ankh? What is his staff? Do you know?
I think it is an Ankh. I'm just tickling the back of my mind that I've read that there are a plethora of books out there about Rider-Waite, imagery on, and so I've read more than I ever even really want to know about some, but I think so, like the staff of life, type of thing. So.
Oh, sure. So in the chat room, we're seeing that people are playing along and getting them. So give me another one.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's thumb to the minors here. Okay. More than most, I carry intent. Onward, onward, my will bent. Beyond, a distant manor stands, pulling me ever with its demands.
Ooh, anyone want to chat in the chat room? Any guesses? Let's hear that one again.
Okay. More than most, I carry intent. Onward, onward, my will bent. Beyond, a distant manor stands, pulling me ever with its demands.
Is it not a major arcana card?
It's a minor.
Okay, is it the... how about the Ten of Wands?
How about it, Christiana?
Very good. Do you have more?
I do. I actually need to finish the whole suit of these, but I've got some here and there. Let's see. How about another minor? Beneath the bridge the water flows, my long black cape in still repose, my losses pull with deep demand, and take no account of what still stands.
Five of Cups.
Easy breezy, lemon squeezy.
That is so clever. There's a book there, Mary Ellen.
Yeah, I need to finish this. Absolutely. It's fun. Some of them are more easy. Some of them are easier than others. Some of them are like, huh?
Okay, give us a hard one.
Ooh, well, I don't know if this is hard, but this is what I just thumbed to here. Astride a horse of snowy white, clad in armor black as night, everyone must bow to me. In turn, I grant eternity.
Death.
Ta-da! Yeah, that's not so hard.
Perfect.
Let's see if I have one for the there's a card that I got focused on the other day because of a reading that I did. It was something that Jung was talking about, and it was like, whoa, that sounds like a tarot card. But of course, when you're a tarot-aholic, everything sounds like a tarot card.
True enough. There's a suggestion that you should turn your game into an online Learn the Tarot game.
Oh, that would be fun.
Right?
Well, actually, I originally wrote it for my tarot classes, but what happens in the tarot classes is that not everybody is all that familiar with Rider-Waite-Smith, even though that's what we use for entry level. But it's like, it's just too hard, when you're very first learning the cards. Let me see, here's one more. Beneath an impossibly yellow sky, I am a quite successful guy. The emblem that I hold in hand shows worldly gain at my command.
King of Pentacles?
Yepper. And there he is.
Excuse me, I was trying to remember, excuse me, if the King of Pentacles had a yellow background, but...
Yeah, he does. It's not green. I remember the first time I had a real run-in with the King of Pentacles. I was doing daily draws at the time, and every day for I think 3 days in a row, I got the King of Pentacles, no matter, shuffle, 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 King of Pens, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Remember back when the Republicans were buying votes and we ended up all with, if you filed online your tax refund, you got the little extra $600. I forget what year that was. Anyway, $1,200, because it was between me and my husband, had magically appeared in my bank account. So that's always been my sense of the King of Pentacles, is just kind of money flowing into the coffers, and easily, without necessarily doing anything. Of course, we paid for it with the ensuing recession, but that's a discussion for another time.
Indeed it is. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the toy oracle. I know in West Palm Beach, when I had my office there, we had you come in and teach a class on it, and we had so much fun. But tell us what a toy oracle is and how someone could assemble one at home.
Well, hold on just a second. I'm glad you asked that question. I don't know how well I can show it here.
I think probably pretty well.
I can, through the magic of television, actually give a little bit of an idea. I use little, let's see. These are little charms.
Mm-hmm.
That I've collected over time. This is a dancing bear.
Dancing bear.
And here's a little present. There's no time like a present.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Just here's a little horseshoe.
Right.
And in my particular case, I have gravitated towards, I like my charms to be metal, and I like to be a certain size, but of the different people that I've worked with that have done this, it all started on Eclectic website, Tarot Forum. If anybody is a fan of tarot, it's a good place to check out. By the way, AECLECTIC, Eclectic. So one of our very creative friends online there, she goes by the name of Satori online, she said, let's collect little doodads in our junk bins and our kids' toys and all that, and use them as oracles. And that's the whole thing, that no matter what we use to stimulate that combination of, the third eye and the throat and all the brain and the heart and everything that goes together in a good reading, well, actually, you just light up all the chakras, in my humble opinion. But at any rate, it doesn't matter, you can use toothpicks, you can use matchbooks, people can they've used seashells and crystals and all that sort of thing. So the key is just, digging around in your jewelry box if you like charms, or I like old coins. I have different, for example, I have a real tiny little coin. I don't know where I got it, but I use it for a little money, like you're getting a little money, just what you decide. I think the key is just, if, for me anyway, I mean, I could certainly toss out toys, little oracles, charms I've never seen before and read them. But for me, it works more easily if I decide ahead of time what it's going to be, that I don't have to struggle. Because when I'm looking, while I'm in the middle of a reading, I don't want anything to interrupt the flow. So that's why it's good to have a good sense of what does it mean before I jump in there and start reading it. But, so I throw them out on the table, and I always have a kind of a classic sense of when I view the things I've thrown out on the table, what's to the left is the past, what's to the right is the future. It's like a mini Celtic cross, the guts of a Celtic cross. What's below is foundation. What's above is what crowns me, higher self maybe, or even my guide speaking to me. What's in the middle is right now. And I toss it on the table, and I always look for a picture. Did it fall in the shape of a flower arrangement? Did it fall in the shape of a shoe? Better get moving. That gives me the big picture of, what's going on. And then from there, I just kind of, some of it, I got to say, I don't know where it comes from. I ask spirit, or, I'm just making this up. It's the same thing, right? But, I find where the beginning is, and then I follow the yellow brick road. I just follow the flow of it and tell the story, just like we do with tarot.
What came first for you? Did tarot come first?
Yes, yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh, well, I think, my first deck was, I still can't read it. It's the one J.J. Swiss, Marche.
Sure.
And it's still sitting on the shelf, looking obscure and just going nanner, nanner, new. I just can't read that. But I did start. I was always fascinated by it. Eventually, I finally started getting readings from people. I tried to read books and memorize the meanings. But I'll tell you, it's really like hanging out with other people, like your webcasts that you do and the classes that you do with everyone. It's sitting in a room or on the internet or something, putting down cards and hearing what other people see in the cards too, that really helped light the fire for me. And then once I got a real sense of that, then I began to be a lot more confident in reading the meanings. And then in my humble opinion, I think all of us are sixth sensory beings. We all have intuition. And once we use something like cards, it does a couple of things. It does one thing, using a tarot card or any other oracle is sort of like, it's your higher self going, look over here, so that it can flow in and give you the answer, But it also gives you archetypes that you can move into and creatively interpret using that flow. So it started with tarot, and then I was at a reader studio conference that I learned how to read not crystals like the crystal oracle I have, but stones. A woman did a really cool little class of different color stones and where they fell in a pattern, and that's where I kind of learned that. And I also created a crystal oracle, which is rose quartz or sodalite or all the crystals that we, love so dearly in our community. And I didn't really know very much about crystals. It's actually the way they introduced themselves to me. They said, all right, we're going to get together and create an oracle, and you're going to read it. Who, me? And that's how the crystal oracle was born. It doesn't matter. So essentially, most of the time when I do tarot readings, when I read, professionally, I do a combo. I always start with either the crystals or the toy to get the big picture, the energy kind of, people, a lot of times they come in, they don't have a specific question like our callers did earlier. When they do, that's fine, or when they don't, that's fine. If they don't, though, I'm kind of, through something like that, a more general oracle, having a conversation with their higher self. What do you want to be known today? And then once we get that kind of information, I use my tarot cards to drill down, and I feel like I can get a lot more details with them. And that's why I'm looking forward to Lenormand, because I think that'll enhance, like tarot, for me, at least my skill level, I feel like I can talk about the what and to some extent the how But I think Lenormand will allow me to be better with the when and the who, and just a lot more, answering some of those questions that are a little, more, not a vague, but not as easy to find with tarot.
Sure. So I hate to say it, but we are coming to the end of our time. Can you let people know how to get in touch with you if they'd like a chance to get a reading with you or study with you or any of that good stuff?
Right now, the best way is on Facebook, Mary Ellen Collins. So if you're a tarot person, if you've connected in through like either Facebook's group, one of those groups or something like that, I have to say that my website hasn't been updated, and I'm not even going to tell you how long. And I need to revamp that because we just can't afford not to have online presence these days. But thank you for asking me.
Sure, that's so true. And there's a question in the chat room, if we can handle this very quickly. She wants to know about the Crystal Oracle. The question is this something that you created or something that you could get off of Amazon?
I just put it together. I bought tumbled crystals. I don't know if I got enough time to dig for one or not. Let's see. Just little crystals this size. And I decided, I read that, 13 crystals is conventional, but you don't want the same crystals showing up every time. So I got about 20 to start out with. And I literally did the homework. I meditated with them. I worked with them. I tried to use their energy for other things. I would read up and find that angelite is good for connecting with your higher self. And then when it showed up in a reading, it talked to me about connecting with higher self. So you can create it yourself.
Perfect. Very well done. Mary Ellen Collins, this is not the first time that you've rescued my butt in a jam.
Oh, gosh.
You are, as well as being a wonderful reader and a wonderful teacher, you're a wonderful friend. I hope we'll see you back here at the Psychic Cafe real soon. And thank you so much for being here. Everyone, thanks for calling in. Thanks for being present with us today. We'll see you right back here next week with Marcy Courier on Christiana's Psychic Cafe.
Thank you. My pleasure.